Has the real estate market slowed down? As realtors, we've noticed a little bit of a slowdown, and I was really curious to see the numbers for this month. So let's dive in. Let's look at what happened this month, what's going to happen, and most importantly, what you should do about it. Hi, I'm Paul Haley, Toronto realtor, investor, educator, and speaker, and I want to help you make sense of the real estate market. Okay, so let's be clear. Market slowdown is not a screeching halt. And so what we've noticed as realtors is we've noticed, our clients are, starting to take a little bit of a, let's say they're like, oh, you know what, let's start again next month kind of thing, right? Putting the search on pause. I don't recommend it, but I'm just telling you what's happening. Number two, we still are seeing properties and making bids and making offers and that kind of thing. So the market hasn't stopped. It's still fairly hot. We still are seeing bidding wars on certain properties. Now we're seeing, maybe 12, 13, 14 versus 30 plus offers on offer night. Some less. We just sold a condo and we had 8 offers, and we sold significantly over ask. And number 4, what we're seeing, and I think what people are talking about, is properties that aren't priced and marketed properly are sitting on the market a bit longer. So that's what's happening. That's why the perception is, the market has really slowed. Okay, so let's look at the numbers. TRREB just released the numbers for April. So, they are comparing April 21 to April 20. But those numbers don't actually make sense. As an example, sales are up over 300% just because, as we know, what happened last year, there was a massive slowdown in the real estate market. So let's look at, April compared to March. So sales in April were actually down 12.7% compared to March across the whole of the GTA. And new listings were down only 8.2% compared to March. So, the gap is closing there a little bit. So prices are basically flat from March to April. So down 0.5%, but, basically flat. So kind of remained unchanged across the GTA. So typically, April is when we start to see massive growth over March. So what the heck is happening? What's going on, Paul Haley? So first of all, this is not a normal year, right? We're still in the middle of this thing. And, we saw record sales from January to March. So it's not a normal year. There is some buyer fatigue out there, right? And a sense of uncertainty now. You've seen the media kind of pushing that there's going to be a real estate correction. And, people are understandably maybe tired of a very hot seller's market. So buyers, and sellers alike have kind of pulled back a little bit. And, truth be told, we are in a raised level of lockdown in Ontario. So, that is definitely going to have an effect. A lot of people are like, hey, I just kind of want to wait till this is over. Very understandably. New listings continue to trail sales, meaning, we're not keeping up because, sellers need somewhere to go. They actually have to buy a property to move into or move out of the city in order to do that. And even for those moving out of the city, listen, there's no inventory out of the city. The markets, around the GTA are just insanely hot, up 20, 30 plus %. Even if you go as far as like Prince Edward County, up to Barrie, even past Barrie, out east as well. Like it's just a crazy market all around the core as, I think people have wisely, or not wisely, but interestingly decided to maybe take the advantage and move out while they're working at home. So hopefully this means the market is quote unquote stabilizing and we won't see the real run up in price that we've seen in the past few months. And the truth is the Toronto market is really driven by 3 factors, right? Immigration. So we're going to have 200,000 people plus move to the city here each year. Undersupply, so we're not building enough housing units to house nearly all of those people. And 3, we're going to continue to see low interest rates. They may go up a little. The Bank of Canada signaled potentially that they could go up a little, but honestly, they're going to remain fairly low, at least probably lower than pre-situation levels. I don't want to say the word. And the real question is, what's going to happen with the economy and what's going to happen with inflation. Right now, employment has shrunk in the GTA by 3.4%, which isn't that bad considering. But I think long term, we're sort of anticipating significant job growth, increased average wage, and certainly creating a lot of high-paying jobs in the city. So I think that will continue to be the economic engine, probably of Ontario, at least, and maybe for Canada. And the real question is what's going to happen with inflation. The CPI was up to 2.2%. So I think the central bank probably doesn't want to take any action right now. They want to create stimulus. Still, they want the economy to grow, because we could get in a situation where we have negative growth rates and increasing interest rates. It's called stagflation, or increasing inflation. It's called stagflation, which isn't great. So they're probably waiting until this is over, and then we'll see what happens after that in terms of inflation. So what's happening? Listen, government policy, especially in the short term, and in the long term. In the short term, we've had things like quantitative easing, buying of mortgage bonds, lowering of the overnight rate, and basically stimulating the economy by paying people. Whether you agree with that or disagree with that, it's a measure to help get us through this situation, but it's definitely caused some stimulus, and particularly in assets class, and particularly in real estate, right? So, short and long-term policy is really going to support real estate as an asset class, and I don't see that changing for a very long time, which means we'll continue to see growth in real estate. And listen, my prediction, what I think is going to happen, is we've seen massive uptick in the suburban areas, the outlying areas from the GTA, like I said, as far as Prince Edward County, even further in some places. And I think what's going to happen is, if we see inflation, if we see interest rates increase, like in 2017, we're going to see those areas take the brunt of the correction, maybe all of the correction, and you'll see the core continue, its steady state of growth. It hasn't actually increased as quickly as those other areas, partially because, the prices are already significantly high in the core, but also because a lot of people were moving out into those areas because they could work at home. And that's probably going to change in the long term. Maybe not the way it was, but certainly there will be some drive for people to live back in the city, right? So if you think, government policy is going to continue to support real estate, if you think Toronto as a city is going to remain economically vibrant, and if you think, people are going to have to, in some fashion, come back to work, then I think the core is going to keep growing in the long term. So what should you do about it? That's the most important question. And, listen, we've still found amazing deals for our clients. We're still able to get deals done. We're still able to buy properties that are ready to go, condos, or even development opportunities at great prices. And, listen, it's no secret. You have to be persistent and you have to be patient. That's how you win in this game. If you want a quick video on how to do that, check it out there. We still think there's an opportunity in the condo market, as the price of freeholds has really gotten away vis-a-vis condos, and there's that price gap, and I think really, that's going to close, especially when we see immigration come back, because, let's face it, where are people going to be able to buy, especially new immigrants, or, people that can't afford a house? Really, the only thing left is condos, so that's going to drive demand in that segment at some point, whenever this is over. It could be the fall, it could be later. Truth is, no one knows. And, listen, if you're thinking of selling, it's still never been a better time to sell. It is still a very strong seller's market, despite, what people are saying is a slowdown. Yeah, volume is down. yeah, new listings are down a little bit over March, but you know, like we said, there are very good reasons for that. This market was very hot up until now, and prices are basically flat. So it is still a good time to sell if you need to sell. So listen, if you're looking to trade real estate in any fashion, buy or sell, there are still lots of opportunities. We can get a great price for your home. We can help you find your next home or your next investment, whatever it is. Please reach out, info@thinkto.ca. We would love to help. I hope you found this video hugely helpful. Please like this video and please leave a comment below if you have any questions or you just want to say, thanks Paul Haley for such a great job. And please smash that subscribe button so you get updated each and every week when we post new amazing content like this. Talk soon.